and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. The much anticipated Hymers Fall Fair is back to being in person for its 110th year after having to go virtual last year. Residents from all over the Thunder Bay area came out to see what the country life has to offer. Jessica Clement has the details.
The popular Labor Day weekend event was able to go back to their roots and have their first in-person fair since the pandemic. The agricultural fair included a number of events like animal shows, craft exhibits, as well as a number of contests. Hymers Agricultural Society President Aaron LaForest says with everyone back in person, this year's turnout has been overwhelming.
We didn't decide till about April or May of this year that we were having a full in-person fair. And everybody's, a little rusty, but we're shaking that rust off, getting back into the swing of things. And this year's just, it's going to be bigger and better. And I think everybody's really happy to get back out to it. It's nice. It feels like every other year. People are smiling, having fun, and yeah, can't ask for more than that.
Along with the animal shows and agricultural exhibits, the fair also has a long lineup of musicians and entertainers who will be playing on the two stages over the long weekend. A variety of artisan booths and stands were also hosted around the fairgrounds, giving small businesses the chance to showcase their products and wares to hundreds of people, including Suzanne and Don Mancher, co-owners of Mountain Maple Products, who have been coming to Hymers Fall Fair for 34 years.
We're just glad to be here at Hymers Fair. We always meet a lot of nice, friendly people. This fair, they help with the business.
The fairgrounds are crowded with people who are excited to finally be back after 2 years. Smiles could be seen on people young and old who are taking in the shows, food, and country living atmosphere.
It's fun, it's exciting, especially after the last couple of years with COVID, not being able to go to stuff. So I think this is great. I think probably most of Thunder Bay wouldn't even know about Hymers if it wasn't for the Hymers Fall Fair. So it's the only reason why we ever come out here, so it's kind of nice to get all these people out.
LaForest adds that it's important for the fair to stay true to its country roots.
You look at our farmers, and we rely on our farmers for our food source, and with the Hymers Agricultural Society, we have sourced out as much as possible through superior seasons, supporting local companies supporting us. We've got some great sponsors, and it's truly important to stick to those agricultural roots.
And if you missed the Fall Fair festivities, you're in luck as the fair will continue on Monday at the Hymers Fairgrounds from 9 to 5 p.m. Jessica Clement, TVT News.
A decision regarding a possible multi-billion-dollar nuclear storage facility here in the Northwest was expected to be made next year. However, the organization spearheading the development and consultation of the project says it's now delayed until 2024. Adam Riley explains.
The final site decision of where an underground storage facility for nuclear waste was expected to be made by the Nuclear Waste Management Organization next year. However, the agency has opted to bump that decision until 2024. This comes as a result of the project falling victim to COVID-19, according to Vice President of Indigenous Relations, Bob Watts.
A big part of our program is working with people. We have like a technical program, and then we have a program that's more face-to-face engagement with people. The technical program has advanced pretty well, but the social program has suffered.
The delay has Ignace Mayor Penny Lucas a little disappointed, but she understands this could be beneficial for the municipality.
Gives us an opportunity to think more about it, if the project was to actually come to Ignace, how we're going to manage that potential growth. It'll give us time to do some development ideas and come up with some. Of course, there's always the funding issues.
The push to 2024 also comes at the same time as the Anishinaabe-Aski Nation stating it is against the project, with Grand Chief Derek Fox going as far to say he is willing to be arrested to prevent the project from going forward. Ignace has been working with the NWMO for over a decade now, and Lucas says Fox getting involved will only improve the amount of knowledge on the project and its spread.
Even if he was to soften his line, I guess, if you want to put it that way, there's a lot of stuff that he still needs to I'm sure there's a lot of questions that he has that he hasn't had the answers to. So I can understand his position.
It's a similar sentiment held by those with the NWMO who has worked with NAN in the past, and Watts is hopeful the two agencies can re-engage in conversation.
Clearly, NAN has identified some issues that are really important to them. And similarly, those issues are really important to us. So I think that, there's really good ground for us to be able to have some dialogue, to have some discussion.
Adam Riley, TBT News.
Charges have been laid against two companies operating at the Barrick Hemlo mine near Marathon. They're in connection to a workplace fatality from last summer. Riley McManus has the details.
On the evening of July 14th, 2021, 48-year-old Troy Cameron was killed in an industrial accident at the mine located 40 kilometers east of Marathon. In a statement from the Ontario Ministry of Labour, Williams Operating Corporation is facing 3 charges, including failing to provide information, instruction, and supervision to a worker regarding the post-power outage reset of underground vent doors, failing to ensure equipment, materials, and protective devices are maintained in good condition, and in particular, that the company failed to ensure door controls were installed and maintained as designed. The ministry also alleges the company failed to ensure a warning light system was maintained in good condition. A second company, Barminco Mining Services Canada Limited, has also been charged to failing to provide information, instruction, and supervision to a worker to protect the health or safety of a worker. Now, none of the charges have been proven in court, and the matter has been adjourned until October 28th in the Ontario Court of Justice in Thunder Bay. I'm Riley McManus, TBT News.
The Superior Greenstrow District School Board is launching a special bursary in remembrance of a man who had a major impact on the school board and its students. Board trustees have agreed to create the bursary in memory of former Director of Education David Tamblyn, who sadly passed away in March following a lengthy battle with brain cancer. Tamblyn worked for the board for over 30 years in several capacities, including as a teacher and principal before retiring as the Director of Education. During his time with the school board, he made a significant impact on the community with a passion for the environment and Indigenous education. Current Director of Education Nicole Morden Cormier says the $1,000 bursary will go to students who have made a difference and exemplify the values Tamblyn brought to the school board and community.
One of the things that made Dave remarkable as a leader was his passion for relationships and his passion for learning and for education. He was also significantly passionate about environmental stewardship. So David coined the phrase, making a difference with Superior Greenstone.
It's an honor to be able to provide this bursary in David Tamblyn's name. He was a leader that all educators and educational leaders look up to and just are in awe of the work that he did in our communities and in our schools.
Every year, a graduating student from each of the 5 high schools in the district will receive $200 from the David Tamblyn Memorial Bursary. Students will be returning to classes at Lakehead University this week, and the school's Student Health and Wellness Center will be ready to help them deal with stress, as LU is once again offering a therapy dog program once a week, courtesy of the volunteers at St. John Ambulance. Jonathan Wilson has the story.
The cast of characters changes, but different dogs every week, but always 2 dogs, because 1 dog wasn't enough at one point.
Lindsay Wachter is a health and wellness promoter at Lakehead University. She says their therapy dog program has been a favorite stress reliever for students and staff for many years. And once classes begin in September, it typically draws 15 to 20 students per day.
There's some research that shows just petting dogs helps us relax, but also with loneliness and companionship. And it's also a good break for them to come visit and interact with other people. A lot of them miss their pets back home, so it's like kind of a taste of home for them. But it's been really popular and everyone loves to come by.
It helps them get ready to have an exam. It just settles them. It's a calming event. Or if they need to be ramped up for something, they come and do it that too.
The 2 dogs here on this day are named Reba and Derby. They're owned by volunteers with the St. John Ambulance Therapy Dog Program. And they also visit local health facilities, high schools, and even the jail. Reba's owner, Verly Breitsprecher, says the big poodle has all the best attributes for a good therapy dog, as she's patient and kind and never gets flustered. Breitsprecher says the dogs and the stressed out students have one thing in common.
They're all needy. Rebe needs them as much as they need her to comfort, to console, to give them a little bit of a lift in the day, or just to help them sleep at night. She's just an all-round giver.
Wachter says the therapy dog program had to be put on hold at LU during the pandemic, but it's slowly been making a comeback.
Well, it was kind of hit or miss in COVID, so we were having outdoor visits in the fall because that's the only thing we were allowed, and then in January we were able to bring them back onto campus, and we've been having them come once a week ever since.
The LU therapy dog visits are available every Tuesday from noon to 1 o'clock in the Student Health and Wellness Activity Room. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
And seeing those dogs, I just want to give them a pet. But we're now joined by sports anchor Vasilios Bellos. Now, we talked about this yesterday, Canada versus the U.S., a much anticipated game.
Of course, and I think everyone heading into the tournament, these are the two teams they thought would be in the final. Still did not disappoint, though. We're going to have the full story